Okay, so all I've known is penguins, right? When I was 2, like I've been raised by penguins, and they taught me some tricks of the trade. Now in the city, it doesn't help much because there's no ice. You know, they taught me how to belly slide. That was a pretty cool stage move. I mean, that worked out pretty well. But when you go into the city, you don't slide on concrete. You face plant. But I was talking to one of my penguin friends because I'm a penguin whisperer. And I was talking to him, I was like, so, how do you feel about having wings and can't fly? I mean, you've got to feel some kind of loneliness, kind of. And he told me, he's like, Kyle, it's not about what you have, it's about who you are inside. And he took his little flipper and he was like, right here, right here. And so I told him, I was like, all right. And he said, but one day we will fly. And I said, does that include me? Because, you know, I'd love to fly. He said, no. So we went out hunting because, like, he taught me how to swim super fast, like 200 miles an hour. Because that's how fast they can swim. And we were swimming, and I started to grow a beak also. I shaved it off when I came to the city because, you know, got to blend in. So did that. But while I had my beak, I was the skilled fisherman. Anytime they're like, Kyle, we need you to catch a crazy fish, I was the go-to guy for that. I had to fight with a shark one, known as a killer whale one time. That thing didn't stand a chance. It's 5 times my size, but I pulled a Jason Bourne under the water. That was cool. He gave me a nickname. My nickname was Fred. And I asked him, I was like, why Fred? Like, what significance in the penguin world does that possess? And he's like, oh, it doesn't, but if you ever, like, choose to live with actual people, then you'll need a name. And so they named me Fred. And then I was talking to Tony, he's another one of my friends, and when we went out, they have this little restaurant basically, and it's called the Fish Fillet. They said they stole it from Chick-fil-A because it sounded cool. I don't know. But we were eating there, and as far as their drinks go, we didn't drink a lot of, what we mainly drank was, it was a concoction between fish eyes, what was it? Dinosaur toes and starfish. Yeah, the starfish added that sizzle. It's like Dr. Pepper. Like the starfish gave it that, really gave it what you needed there. And, you know, there's no alcohol or anything, so, you know, no wasted penguins. That'd be bad. They already waddle, so, I mean, you can't look more drunk than that. But, I lived there for about 3 years, and on my last year, it's pretty cool. We celebrated, we found this this guy that studies penguins. And it was my first time to ever see a human being. That was interesting because basically what I did was I tried the happy feet where I tried dancing in front of him, but due to the fact of my human form, he didn't really he was like, oh, big deal. I was like, you can't be serious. No matter what I did, I showed him my beak, he laughed at me, he thought it was paper. What kind of imposter would I be with a paper beak? And so I got a couple of my friends up there, and me and my penguin friends jumped him basically, and we were like, hey, what are you doing here? And he said, well, I've come to observe you. And I was like, okay. And so I went back, and we decided, hey, let's test out what a non-raised penguin human, what they do. And he showed us an iPhone. That was pretty cool. I mean, the penguins with their fur and stuff, it was too big to, I was able to use it, but they weren't. So what we did was we just tied them to their head, and they walked around with it so I could call them. But no, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I mean, there's some ups and downs. I was almost eaten by a walrus. That was ugly. But yeah, I always had bad breath too. But it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it, and I've got a friend flying up here from Chicago. He's migrating this way. I'm gonna keep him in my freezer. Won't eat him. I promised him that. That was our deal there. If he raised me, then I wouldn't use their animal skin or anything. But yeah, it was a good life. Kicking it back, no cigars, and Jesus spoke penguin.